Inside the Huddle, the podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Rolla Bulldogs high school sports. All right, everyone, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. Give a big shout out to them, mypcb.com. They are bankers by day. You know what they are by night? They're Bulldog fans.
Yeah.
They are Bulldog fans. 100% employee owned, 100% community champions. Make sure you check them out. Appreciate them. All right, here we are, season 3, episode 68. Today we got Coach Matt Calvert, coach of the boys, both the boys soccer team, but this season it's the Lady Bulldog soccer team. Thanks for being here, Matt.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I tell you, kind of exciting time. You know, this time of year, we're talking about the weather and is the jamboree going to happen, or is there going to be too much rain?
When's it going to happen? Where's it going to happen?
Do we have snow? Do we not have snow?
Right. Yeah.
It's that time of year. It's the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about last year. So this is the Taylor Chrysler Coach Talk episode. So we'd like to give them a big shout out. They've come on board to be the title sponsor for the Coach Talk with all the coaches. So appreciate that. So last year you're 10-8-1.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the 5-game win streak during kind of the early part of the season, which was kind of cool. After you got a tough schedule.
Yep.
And you're kind of loaded up. You had the second place, I think it was second place to the Cat, how you end up there in that Central Missouri Invitational. And I remember that last year because you came off a game where you lost on penalty kicks before that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you head into that and you have a double overtime victory, 1-0.
Uh-huh.
And then you end up losing to them. Is it the championship game or how?
I think one was regular season.
One was regular season. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it was like a 1-0. It lost 1-0 in double overtime.
Yeah. Cap City's always a dogfight.
Oh my gosh, it was such a crazy year. And you go back, you look at some of those contests where you played some high caliber teams. You got some good wins.
Yeah.
Against teams with winning records. And it's just kind of one of those tough ways to go, especially when we're not in a conference.
Right.
And, it's kind of, you're trying to find, so you got teams from all over that you're trying to match up with.
Absolutely. And you want to get the best competition possible. I mean, it's not going to do your team any good for postseason if you just march out and, stop. You got to figure out what's going wrong to fix it when you move into that postseason. So playing the good team is the best way to find that out.
So last season you had how many seniors?
11.
11. So you graduated 11
An
seniors.
Entire starting lineup.
Wow.
Yep.
That is, that's tough.
Yes, it is. And we graduated some big names in there. Olivia Young scored 34 goals for us last season. Nice. That's hard to replace. And Fontenot, moving all that stuff through the midfield. I mean, honestly, all of those girls that we graduated are going to be sorely missed this season. I'm big defenders, everything. We're going to miss them for sure.
And then Olivia was an all-state.
Liv got all-state. I mean, 34 goals, especially with our schedule, is nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. Not at all. So let's take a look at what do we have coming in. So you graduate your entire starting lineup, 11 seniors, not just starting lineup, but your 11 seniors in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hate to say a rebuild because, I mean, you've been working so hard to get the numbers up for the program, and you got your multiple teams now. So what are we looking at this year with your team?
Yeah, we're definitely younger. This year I've only got 3 seniors, and we've got 2 juniors that are graduating. So we'll count it 5 seniors. We got 5 seniors this year, but we're not hurting for leadership. We've got some girls that have been playing a lot of soccer, been playing with those 11 seniors for a lot of years, and they really stepped into that role very well. Lainey Wilson, Penelope Uses Knife, and Callie Kessel are all seniors this year for us, and they're really stepping into that leadership role well. It's been good to watch.
Good. And then you got some juniors you said they're going to be graduating early. And you got a key change there, right? Someone who was as your keeper.
Bayla Lane came to me at the end of last season and said, "Coach, I think I want to transition to field." And she played field growing up all through club ball. And I said, I love that. You're a great defender. We've got a great backup goalkeeper coming in. Let's do it. Let's see how this looks. So she's going to be playing a sweeper back, a center back for us. So I've got nothing the same from last year at all because she was our starting goalie for us. So we're completely different on the field this year.
Well, I tell you, it can be challenging, but it also gives that opportunity to really watch the growth.
It's fun to see where these puzzle pieces are going to fit for us. I told the parents at the start of the season, it's a big puzzle, but I got the right pieces for the job.
Yeah. Now, that's a great analogy because how are you going to place those puzzles? How are you going to put those pieces together to get the picture that you want to see? And again, maybe more like a Lego set where you can, you got all the Legos. I can build what I need.
Absolutely.
And I think it's kind of cool. So let's take a look at what because we talked about this a little bit beforehand. With when you have the big of a change and
Mhm.
you have a certain style you like to play,
Right.
you had the girls that you're very familiar
Right.
with that had been there for a while. So what are we going to see differently this year about your Lady Bulldogs team than maybe we've seen in past years?
Yeah, so like last year we played a very traditional 4-3-3. Something we're very comfortable with. They play it a lot. It's a pretty simple formation you can do a lot with. This year we're switching up big time. We're playing a 5-3-2, really focusing on our defense first because I've got a lot of defenders. Most of my upperclassmen this year are going to be defenders, so that's our strength. That's what we want to focus on. So we're going to put five in the back, let those two wings on the outside run up and down. It's the Wilson sisters,
Yeah,
Nessa and Lainey both. We got them running all the way up and back, and then that way we've got the defense taken care of. We've still got our three in the midfield, and then we've got two up top, so that when we counterattack, it's not one person going at a time. They're going, but they got a helper with them, so they can play off of each other on those counterattacks and try to get in behind with two rather than one doing it solo.
So are you in your second week of practice or is this your first week of practice?
It's our first week of full practice.
Practice,
Last
yeah,
week was
practice.
tryouts, and then this week is our first time
Okay.
really getting into it.
Okay, so you're basically a week in.
Uh huh.
You got next week, like we're talking about, you got conferences going on.
Hmm.
You have the jamboree next week,
Yeah, hopefully.
and then you start on Friday the 20th with your first game.
Yeah, it is fast and
Yeah.
furious in the spring.
So how are you thinking about? So what's your thoughts of the start of this season, and how you're looking at your team, and what you're thinking about in this first couple weeks, and what your focus is
It's
going to
all
be?
about positivity in the beginning. We are going to we're starting over. We're
Okay.
we're rebuilding from scratch. We got to find what works for us, and that's gonna make a couple of snakes. The expression "you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet." It really comes into play because we're not going to be perfect off the bat. It's going to be a season long progression. That way, again, we make those mistakes early, then we get better and we get better, and by the time postseason comes around, we've got our problems fixed and we're ready to roll. So, I'm looking just for the girls to stay positive and keep doing the right thing.
And I like how you reached out and got the parents involved
Mhm.
early as well. Well, hey, let's make sure we got the same expectations.
Yeah,
Let's make
absolutely.
sure we're not, that you don't want to have it where, either you're putting a lot of pressure on them and they're not, or vice versa. Let's get on the
Right,
same page.
right.
Here's what we're building. Let's take this the way we need to
Mhm.
and then and grow it. So I like that because again, having the parents on board with
Communication
you,
is
man, it
very
definitely
helpful.
helps. Yeah, definitely. So let's take a look at some of our sponsors real quick before we kind of get into talk about the upcoming part of the season. Um, Again, we already talked about Phelps County Bank being our title sponsor. Appreciate them. You can go to the QR code here, go to mypcb.com, find out everything about them. Again, love the fact that they're employee owned. I think it's a great way to go. Um, Taylor Chrysler, appreciate them for being the Coach Talk sponsor. Jeremy Shelton over there, his son came through here, and he got a younger son coming up. Coaches in our SERV program,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
so many parents seem to do. So appreciate that. Home Sweet Mill Properties, they do our Spotlight Edition. So for senior nights and the senior signings, they're the take care of that. So thank you to Jared and Danielle for helping out there. I always give a shout out to Juan Skills Academy. He's got his facility that's getting
mhm.
closer and closer to opening up. It's going to be kind of nice. Going to have a lot of opportunities for the kids. And then Jackie Morazowitz in full bloom, does backdrop rental, party decor, does the balloon stuff. And we have her for a lot of senior signings. I use her for our son's wedding and graduations and everything else. So always appreciate that. And I always like to give a shout out to the season ticket, JP Maxwell over there at 104.9 ESPN. We talk about all the sports here at the high school, but also in St. James. We also talk about the minors and then some of the state sports as well, and that's on Tuesdays 5 to 6. You can tune in and listen to JP spin his wisdom. Um, so upcoming games, we have the Bluefish is I guess the fifth annual
Mhm.
Bluefish soccer tournament, March 20th and 21st. So Friday is your pool play games,
Correct.
and then we'll move into Saturday, which is just basically a single
Placement
game.
games.
Yeah,
Yep.
placement game. So Friday, so we got two pools. In the first pool, we got Rolla Springfield Catholic,
Mhm.
who Springfield Catholic last year, I had them down at uh, 14-6 last year. And then also the Borgia Knights, who we played last year. They're 13-12. We did play Borgia last year, didn't we?
I believe
I
so.
believe so. I was going to say, had some other ones I was looking at. And then on the other side of the pool, Union Wildcats, St. Vincent, and Washington Blue Jays. Now, they're all going to be played at Union High School because
Because our turf is under construction.
turf is under construction.
Yep.
Hopefully, get that replaced. So it's back over there. A lot of stuff's been going on. So they'll take care of the first round games for the B side of the
Mhm.
pool, and then on the A side pool will be played right down here
On the grass field.
at the grass field. So make sure you come out. So first game again, it's always kind of cool because we start early on Friday.
Mhm.
We got 2 p.m. for the Lady Bulldogs
Mhm.
taking on Springfield Catholic. Then the 4 o'clock game will be Catholic versus Borgia, and then we'll do the nightcap at 6 p.m.
Yep.
against Borgia.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about what you can expect from that. I mean, Springfield Catholic's kind of new to the schedule, but man,
Good
they're a
competition.
good team.
Yeah, no, I expect Catholic to be a lot of pressure. Really give our defense a lot of work. I think the ladies are ready for it though. I we got some good backs back there. And so they'll be putting a lot of pressure on us early. They like to push high and they like to get physical. So a big strong matchup there for sure.
Well, then you got the Borgia Knights,
Mhm.
and so what are we expecting from the Borgia Knights? I assume that's a coach has been there for a while, or
Mhm. Yeah, they typically they like to play a possession game. They like to move that ball around. They got some big, strong, fast players up top, especially. But they like to move that ball side to side and try to break down that defense. Catholic is they use their strength and they try to get at you and get at you fast. Borgia takes a more kind of wait and see approach and then shoots the gap as soon as they see it. So, got to keep those gaps closed and make sure they don't have an opportunity to burn us in behind.
so you're not messing around. So we know we always kind of start with that tough schedule.
Hmm.
And it's one thing when you had your 11 seniors all out there. Now we got the new team
Yeah,
coming in, and so now it's like you said, it's all a learning lesson.
yeah,
Get them out there, get them tested, see what they got to face, and then
absolutely.
go from here with a kind of your improvement process
Yeah.
and the skill development.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I every game is learning opportunity for the girls. I told them you're not going to do perfect the first time. You're going to make mistakes, and you have to be okay with that. Mistakes are going to happen. It's how you recover and how you bounce back.
So you're kind of fortunate because you're starting off with a nice home schedule to
Hmm.
start with. So we got the Bluefish Shootout, so there'll be 3 games there. Then on Saturday, the games will either be at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., or 2 p.m. So
Hmm.
first place game will be at 2 p.m. The 10 a.m. is the fifth place game, and then the 12 p.m. will be the third place game.
Right,
So it depends how you come up at each side of the pool. And then you come in, and then you got Rockwood Summit at home, and I think Rockwood Summit's they're pretty good.
that's a strong team.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they're good.
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
I remember that from last year. Helias Catholic, again, they're
always
normally a
competitive.
powerhouse. Waynesville's kind of a hit and miss, right?
They have their up years and their
Yeah,
down years. They graduated some big players last year, so they're going to be kind of in a similar boat,
yeah.
learning the ropes and trying to find out what works for them. So we'll see how they come out.
So yeah, so that gives you like 6 games right off the bat at home, which is
Hmm.
kind of a nice way to start
It
the season.
absolutely is.
And then and it's still going to be more of a home schedule, I think,
Yeah,
in
last year
general.
when we were kind of scrambling to
Yeah,
find those games, a lot of times it's like, "Hey, if we need someone to play, we'll come there.
yeah,
We'll go
yeah,
there."
yeah.
So now this year, it's
Our
coming
turn,
back to
yeah,
us.
that's good. And I think it'll help out too with that younger team to
Absolutely,
have more time here
absolutely.
with the fan
Yeah,
base all
and
here
not
and
have
everything.
a long bus for.
Exactly, exactly. So, do you have like looking back on last year, was there a favorite game for you, a favorite match?
I No, I mean it watching all those girls. They played together for so long. Watching them on the field was just fun. Just watching them do their thing out there. They knew each other like the back of their hands, and every game just looked like
Yeah.
poetry. They just played so well together. Every game was fun to watch.
So let's look at this year. Is there a game on the schedule that you're saying, okay, this is the one I want to see. This is the one I want to see how everyone matches up or for whatever reason.
It's got to be Cap City.
Okay.
I mean, it's always a tight game. We're always fighting them tooth and nail. And the last couple years, I felt we were better, but they just won't. They won't roll over for us. They just come to fight, and it's always a tooth and nail battle. And I want to see how the girls fight them.
And so interesting enough, so they're our last game of the
That'll be our
regular
senior
season.
night.
Yeah, senior night on May 14th. Chances are though we might see them in that Central Missouri Invitational. Aren't they
Hmm.
always in that one as well? So we
Yeah.
might see them then.
Yep.
So that's going to be kind of exciting time. Um, now I don't know if you're still keeping with basketball, but I'm remember from the days back in basketball. Do you have a Final Four March Madness? Do you do the brackets and stuff like
No,
that?
I don't follow it tightly enough to do that.
Okay,
No.
okay. That's probably well, even if you follow it tightly like I do,
Uh huh.
it's not worthwhile to do a bracket
Oh,
because
it's
I never win.
uh huh.
I am not gonna win at all. So that's kinda how that one goes. Well, I tell you what, I'm kind of excited to see the
Hmm.
girls come out, like you said, having that new team, the young team, and just kinda seeing how they respond to everything.
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch because every time they step on that field, they're laughing, they're having a good time. You can tell they're out there because they love it, and that's the best soccer to watch.
I tell you, and watching that out there today with the practice,
Hmm.
and maybe things weren't quite going. You're like, hey, keep at it, keep at it.
Yeah.
I can tell you just encourage, hey, no, keep playing it, keep playing, just trying to get them all to go, and you can
Yep.
see them all respond and out there moving. So that was kind of as a bystander, kind of in the stands, just to listen and watch. I loved watching that and
I'm
got
glad.
excited.
I'm glad.
So. come on out, everyone. So Bluefish shootout will be going on. Um, Again, that'll be on Friday the 20th. Hopefully, we'll have the jamboree in Dixon.
It's in Dixon.
In
Yep.
Dixon. So hopefully we'll have that. Weather's, we'll see how that goes. But on the 20th, you'll come out Friday, 2 o'clock, and then also at 6 o'clock, come out and cheer on the Lady Bulldogs as they play in the Bluefish soccer tournament, the fifth annual Bluefish soccer tournament. Appreciate Bluefish being the sponsor of
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
So, hey, for Coach Matt Calvert, I'm Tom Brown. We want to thank Phelps County Bank for being the title sponsor, and also want to thank Taylor Chrysler and Jeremy Shelton over there for being the sponsor of Coach Talk.
Awesome.
Matt, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Get
Appreciate
those.
it.
Appreciate it. So, from inside the huddle to the heart of the game, we'll see you next time.